That's right, Geno will be my second guest for Challenger Pack 11. You're probably wondering to yourself, really? Geno? Did you forget they announced his DLC Mii costume already? And to that I say, what are you, stupid? You saw the costume in the trailer. Anyways, I have a lot to say about Geno's chances in Smash, some of which makes me think he might not even be the next fighter. However, to completely rule him out of the chance for the final DLC pack is absurd, and I will be going over why. So, without further ado, here's Geno as Challenger Pack 11. You see this costume? It means nothing. Everyone was so ready the instant Sephiroth was revealed to throw Geno's chances down the drain, all because of a pattern with DLC Mii costumes from Smash 4. There's plenty of reasons to why you might think a character getting a DLC Mii costume means a deconfirmation for Smash. I would wholeheartedly agree with you on Dante having absolutely no chance in Smash now, thanks to his Mii costume being released. However, Geno is in a bit of a special case right now. His Mii costume was first revealed during Smash 4's run of DLC. This fact completely negates any deconfirmation chances in regards to this Mii costume. I would have probably believed it more if they changed the head model, or gave it a soundtrack to go with it, or even if Sakurai said something about the Mii costume. But no, none of those things happened. It's quite literally just the costume from Smash 4. There are some minor differences between the Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate Mii costume, but I still highly doubt that it's enough to warrant a deconfirmation entirely. Another point people miss is that we were going to get the Mii costume back regardless of whether Geno was in the game or not. In fact, we now just got all the Smash 4 third-party Mii costumes back in Ultimate. I think it was safe to say at one point the devs were probably going to give us the Geno Mii costume as well. They probably could have released the Mii costume with Geno's reveal. However, I think due to certain circumstances with another Square Enix character, it would have been a dead giveaway to not reveal the costume with them. On top of that, why hasn't Geno's Spirit Battle been updated with his Mii costume as well? It would have been so simple to do, and yet here we are with no updated Spirit Battle. All I'm trying to say is Geno has just as much of a chance as any other character that is wanted, if not even more than others. Geno could just as likely not be announced as the last fighter, I will admit, but to immediately say he is deconfirmed for such an obvious thing is downright ridiculous. That's my reasoning for why I chose Geno for my second guess. Now that that's out of the way, let's move on to the moveset. His stage intro has him already on the stage, but really tiny. A star flies in and possesses him, making him grow in size as he gets into fighting position. A clever nod to the beginning of Geno's character. For his jab, it's a standard punch, kick, and then it leads to a rocket punch. The rocket punch goes a short distance and acts like a projectile. It goes about as far as Mega Man's bullets. A standard attack pattern, but it kicks into something unique near the end. The ledge attack is going to be something completely unique and new to him. I came up with a brand new weapon that Geno can wield called the Star Saber. This is a move that will take into account a beta design of Geno, where he wields a sword. I'm not sure if they would do something like this or not, but this is such a cool idea that I felt like I had to put it in the video. I also felt like I needed some way to give Geno at least some physical attacking moves, as he is a very projectile-oriented character. He will mostly be projectiles, but similar to Mega Man, he will have some physical moves. Anyways, for the attack, he swipes the stage with the sword as he gets up. A neat basic attack. Up next is the dash attack, which has his lower body turn into a rocket as he boosts forward with his fists for a punch. He doesn't have this ability, but it's one of those things that I think Geno would be capable of doing, and I think Sakurai would try to come up with unique stuff for it too. Geno will be able to wall jump, but not crawl. This section will be containing both the aerial attacks and the tilts. Let's start with the tilts. Side tilt has Geno shoot finger shots in front of him. These act like Joker's neutral special, meaning they cannot be reflected as the bullets are extremely tiny. You can also angle the shots up and down. Up tilt has Geno shoot a star with his star gun weapon directly upwards. I figured this would be an interesting combo move with up throw into up tilt. The star flies as far as Sephiroth's sword with his up tilt. The star acts as a projectile, which means it can be reflected. Down tilt has Geno use his hand cannon weapon to fire a cannonball diagonally downwards. This does act like a projectile, but since it's aimed diagonally downwards, it's not so easy to reflect unless you are super up close to Geno. You can also fire this off a ledge for potential ledge guarding tactics. Starting off with the aerials, the neutral air has Geno slash his Star Saber in a clockwise arc. It's faster than Ike's neutral air version of this move, but does less damage. His up air has Geno shoot a star upwards. It's the same move as his up tilt, but it's just in the air now. I figured this would be useful for a lot of potential combo games, maybe even something along the lines of Mega Man's up air with air shooter. Forward and back air have Geno's hand cannon weapon open, except he shoots a blast of energy from the opening instead of a cannonball. This also pushes him backwards or forwards as well. It's a physical attack, so another option for him against characters like Fox and Mario. And finally, his down air has him shoot downwards completely with his handgun weapon. This is a move similar to Joker's neutral special, except he doesn't spin and he stops after a few bullets have been fired. This, of course, is also another move similar to Joker's bullets, where they do not count as projectiles. For his pummel, he grabs with one arm and punches with the other. Another standard basic move that makes perfect sense for Geno. However, his throws will be completely unique to his character. His forward throw has him turn into a cannon and blast the opponent straight forward in an arc. This throw is especially deadly for opponents who have bad recovery, as it's a similar move to how Kazuya's side tilt works. The opponent is thrown at a low trajectory, but it doesn't do that much in terms of raw damage. For his up throw, he fires the opponent straight upwards with the cannon. As I said before, he can also use this move with his up air or up tilt to shoot a star straight upwards. His down throw has the cannon suck the opponent in and have it explode with them inside. The trajectory shoots them upwards a little, leaving you open for some aerial combos. And the back throw has Geno turn the opponent around and fire a hand cannon blast at the opponent from behind. His smash attacks are going to be unique and utilize a certain gimmick to the character. In Super Mario RPG, you have these things called timed hits. If you hit the button again at the right time, your regular attack is boosted along with doing a special animation. For the most part. I figured it's a pretty integral part of the game, so let's add that into the attacks. This is a similar concept to Link and Young Link's forward smash, so it is a concept that has been done before. For the forward smash, he uses the first move he gets, the Rocket Punch. This is an innate ability he has when no weapon is equipped, but if you time the move correctly, as soon as the move is about to launch, he launches a second Rocket Punch with the weapon known as Double Punch. This is a devastating attack, as it does twice the amount of damage as the first attack. I figured to make the move able to land a bit easier is that if you time it correctly, the first hit will have more hits done than normal. Otherwise, the attack just has normal hits done in general. Up smash has Geno turn both his hands into the star gun as he aims them upwards and shoots them in an arc. If timed correctly, as soon as Geno is about to shoot the first star, the stars grow bigger and shoot a little further. The stars don't go as far as the up tilt and up air moves, but this would make it a unique move to begin with. Greninja's up smash has a similar feeling to this move, however I figured adding the projectile part makes it unique. Down smash has Geno hold his hands out on both sides and his elbows open up for his hand cannon weapon, shooting two cannonballs that explode in front and behind him. If timed correctly, as soon as the hand cannons open, the cannonball's explosions are bigger and do more damage. I hope that if Geno does get in Smash that he adds timed hits somewhere into his moveset. It makes the most sense to me to add something of that caliber to the moveset. And now, the part of Geno that will solidify his most iconic moves in the game. The most obvious thing to do would be to make his special attacks the special moves that he pulls off in Super Mario RPG. It's just way too obvious. In fact, his neutral special is one that almost everyone agrees would be his neutral special. For his neutral special, we have the first special he ever gets, the Geno Beam. This special has Geno charge up a powerful beam from his handgun. When the move is charging, 3 stars will appear above Geno's head. indicating the power level of each charge. Each star increases the damage of the beam entirely, however you cannot keep the charge, only cancel out of it with shield. The beam's range isn't the best, but it's still pretty far, and it might make opponents have to recover low if you decide to use it for ledge guarding. This is definitely one of his most iconic moves in my opinion, so it makes sense to have this be his neutral special. For the side special, it's Geno Whirl. Some might argue that Geno Whirl is too powerful of a move because, well, it's an instant KO if timed correctly. However, I put my own twist on the move. When used, Geno sends a Geno Whirl. It flies super fast and super far, however it does only minimal damage and knockback. If you press the special button again as soon as it hits the opponent though, it does more damage and knockback depending on how much damage the opponent has accumulated. The higher the damage racked on the opponent, the more powerful Geno Whirl's timed hit will do. I thought about making it become an insta-kill if the opponent reached over 100%, but I figured that would be too much. Still, it's difficult to time it correctly as it flies way too fast, so only skilled players will be able to time it correctly I feel, which is a fun take on Geno Whirl in my opinion. Down special is Geno Blast, which is an idea that I got from Greninja's side special kind of. The move itself in Mario RPG is very akin to a Final Smash, but I figured to make this move into an actual attack, it'll work like this. When pressed, Geno gets into a stance on the ground, and a shadow follows the ground. When you press the special, again, a beam of light falls from the sky, about the same height as Pikachu's Thunder attack. You can't move when using it, and you can't cancel it either, so be cautious when using this move. This move can also be used offstage as well, meaning you can surprise your opponents with the move. However, you also have no indicator as to where it goes, so it's sort of a gamble move at that point. And finally, his up special isn't a special he can do in the game, however, I figured it could take the idea I had for his dash attack and apply it to his up special. Basically, his lower body turns to a rocket and he jets himself in all 8 directions. This move is pretty fast too, about as fast as Mario's up special. For his final smash, he throws a giant Geno Whirl in front of him, and any opponents caught by it, up to 3, will be transported into a cinematic final smash where it shows Geno using Geno Boost alongside using a full Geno Blast, with Geno Whirls attacking on all sides, and finally ending off on a Geno Flash. A super powerful attack where Geno turns into a cannon and fires a huge energy blast at the opponents. This final smash will kill anyone that goes over 100% damage. His first taunt has him stare at the camera and nod. It's pretty much his victory animation from the game. His second taunt has him rummaging in his hat and pulls out a frog coin playing the iconic sound it makes when you collect one. And finally, his third taunt has him cross his arms and laugh, a nod to a specific animation that Geno can pull off in Super Mario RPG. His first victory animation has a star piece flying downwards as Geno looks up at it with his hands open, the camera panning upwards to show both Geno and the star piece. Star pieces are the main collectible in Mario RPG, being the main plot point of the game as a whole, so it's fitting to make it a victory animation. His second victory animation has him pull off a pose with his handgun weapon. Something similar to Mega Man's pose would be nice. And his final victory animation has him shoot stars in all directions with his star gun weapons as he looks at the camera and nods. A similar idea to his victory animation, but with more flair involved. Finally, we finished his moveset. I'll admit, there's a lot of potential for his moveset in Smash, so I have no idea how much of this would be accurate if he is indeed Challenger Pack 11. There's a lot of concepts that I like, but I wasn't sure if Sakurai would come up with the same ideas or not. Regardless, the moveset is here for all to see. Next, let's move on to... So his alternate colors were actually pretty easy to come up with. I figured that since there's 7 star pieces to collect in the game, why not have the other alts represent each color? Well, I ran into a bit of a snag, but I figured something out real quick and easy. One of the star piece colors is dark blue, which Geno's default color already fits the bill for. Luckily, there's a certain character that we can make a color scheme out of. We'll get to that in a minute. but for now, his P2 ult is based on the first star piece you collect, the cyan star piece. The other colors also represent another character in the game, Johnny, who gives the dark blue star piece to Mario. His P3 ult is based on the green star piece you get in the forest maze, and also represents Frog Fuchsius, an important side character to the story of the game. He helps Mario and the rest with their adventure by giving useful tips and directions on where to go. P4 is based on the orange star piece, and the other colors represent Punchinello, the boss that held the star piece to begin with. Couldn't really find any character to represent orange very well, so I just went with the boss that held the star piece. P5 is based on the purple star piece, and also represents Croco. Croco is a villain that shows up multiple times during the adventure, so I figured he is considered important enough to get an ult. P6 skips the blue star piece, obviously, and moves on to the red star piece. The color scheme also represents Czar Dragon, the boss that held the star piece. P7 is based on the final star piece in the game, the yellow star piece. The color scheme also represents Balome, a boss that makes an appearance twice in the game. And finally, since there's no more star pieces to be represented, the final color ult is based on Mallow, the other unique party member from Super Mario RPG. As for songs, I was at an impasse on this one. Since the game is technically made by Square Enix, I figured that maybe they also might own the rights to the songs used as well. I don't know the specific details on stuff, but the least amount of songs we got from Square Enix is 8 with Heroes Edition. So, I picked 8 songs that I think would make it into the game if Geno got in as a fighter. Here's the list of songs. I put some songs that I think they would remix, but I don't even know on that one, to be very honest. I hope they would remix them at the very least is all. Moving on. The stage will be Vista Hill. It's an iconic part of Super Mario RPG with Bowser's castle in the background along with Exor, the giant sword that plants itself on top of this castle. The stage is pretty small, but it opens up with platforms showing up on both sides as well. On top of that, if hazards are on, the airship, Blade, shows up and shoots cannonballs at the stage as well. Obviously with hazards off, Blade won't show up and the platforms are stationary the whole time. If you manage to get a star KO, Exor opens its mouth in surprise. I figured this is all fitting enough to be a nice representation of the game in general. Vista Hill is definitely the most iconic place in Mario RPG in my opinion, but I could see them maybe doing Forest Maze or maybe even Smithy's Factory as a stage as well. The DLC Spirit Board was actually extremely easy to come up with. I came up with 7 spirits to use, with Mallow being a spirit that gets an upgraded spirit battle for the DLC Spirit Board. We'll go from Novice to Advanced to Ace to Legend spirits. First off, Booster is the first Novice spirit battle. You fight a Wario on Spirit Train with Bob-omb items as the main item that shows up, which represents the train he rides in and the Bob-ombs he likes to throw at Mario. On top of that, 3 Mortons also show up, being represented by the Sniffits that Booster orders around. Our second Novice battle is Frog Fuchsius. You fight a Greninja on Mushroom Kingdom 2 with a Kirby assist, who represents Mallow. Mallow is associated with Frog Fuchsius, so it makes sense, and the stage also represents Tadpole Pond, where Frog Fuchsius lives. Moving on to the Advanced Spirits, we have Mallow as a returning spirit, only this time he gets an updated spirit battle. I am not sure if they would do this or not, but Mallow will definitely be in the spirit board at the very least. Regardless, the updated spirit fight will have a Kirby fight on Magicant with lightning items showing up randomly in waves, representing the Cloud Kingdom, Nimbus Land, and also the lightning-based attacks Mallow is able to use. Kirby also heals over time, representing HP Rain, a special that Mallow is able to do. Our next advanced spirit is Croco. You fight a King K. Rool on Golden Plains, representing the thief archetype that Croco represents. He is also accompanied by Meta Knights, representing the crooks that fight alongside him. Our Ace-class spirits consist of Boshi, a popular character from the game. You fight a Yoshi on Yoshi's Island Melee, and your move speed is down. Yoshi can also ram into you for damage. The Axum Rangers are also a spirit battle in the game. You fight against Simon, Captain Falcon, Bowser, Isabelle, and Robin, all representing each of the Axum Rangers. You fight on Halberd, which represents Blade, the ship that they operate. They are also all equipped with a Death's Scythe. This makes it an extremely fun and challenging fight in my opinion, where you have to watch out for your damage percentage and make sure you don't get killed in the process. Our Legend class spirits are left now, starting with Exor. You fight a giant Ganondorf on the Vista Hill stage. Ganondorf also spams his smash attacks, and also has increased power on his smash attacks. This is definitely fitting of a Legend class spirit battle, because holy shit, this is already the most hard-hitting spirit battle I've come up with. Our last spirit battle is Smithy, who is represented by King Dedede on Shadow Moses Island. Shadow Moses Island was the perfect representation of Smithy's factory, the final area in the game you explore. On top of that, Hammer Bros also show up as assist trophy enemies, representing the Hammers theme with Smithy. King Dedede also grows giant when at high enough damage. These 8 spirits are probably the ones I would pick, but I could see some getting added or replaced. Bowyer, Mac, and Yaridovich are also important generals to Smithy's army, but I figured the Axum Rangers are more along the lines of the iconic ones because it's 5 and 1. Let's move on to the final part of the video now. So you might be wondering why I didn't put any DLC Mii costumes in this video. Well, I just think they wouldn't do any special Mii costumes for the game is all. I guess I could see that Mallow hat idea from that fake leak, but Regardless, I didn't think there was enough character designs that would fit a Mii costume to make enough for, so I just decided not to do it for this one. Anyways, Geno's classic mode route was a bit of a doozy, but one that I enjoy making very much. But first, his boxing ring title. It's actually really easy to come up with. Geno's name is actually the name of the doll that he possesses, but his real name is apparently incomprehensible to the human language, being represented by this. So I figured let's make that his title, otherwise known as... you get the point. Moving on, the classic mode route has a simple theme to it called Wish Upon a Star. This route has Geno basically make the cast of Smash's wishes come true by fighting other opponents for them. Also, each area you visit in the route represents an area that you get a star piece in. The first route has you fight a Bowser with a Princess Peach on Peach's Castle. A pretty straightforward one as you get the first star piece in the Mushroom Kingdom, and also the wish being Peach wishes to be saved from Bowser. The second route is a little more unique. You fight alongside an Olimar against several DK on Congo Jungle. The stage represents Forest Maze, the second location of the star piece, and the DKs represent the gorilla enemies you fight there. Olimar's wish is to get himself out of this hairy situation, and also the DKs kinda represent the planet Olimar explores on, kinda? I don't know, it's just a general Pikmin theme I went with. The third route takes place on Great Cave Offensive. You fight alongside a Pokemon trainer against a Mewtwo, with the Master Ball being the only item that spawns in. The stage represents the coal mines, and the wish is that Pokemon trainer wants to catch Mewtwo. I thought this one was pretty funny to me, so I added this here. The fourth route takes place on Mario Galaxy. You fight with a Wii Fit trainer against King Dedede, Wario, and Pac-Man. The stage represents Star Hill, and the wish is that Wii Fit trainer wants to get these guys in shape. The fifth route takes place on Pirate Ship. You fight alongside a Toon Link against a Wolf, Ridley, and King K. Rool. The stage represents Johnny's ship, and also all the enemies are able to attack each other. Toon Link's wish is to rid himself of these pirate attacks that keep happening to him. The sixth route takes place on Castle Siege's third phase, the volcanic area. You fight with Simon and Richter against a giant Bayonetta. The stage represents Barrel Volcano, and the wish is that they want to vanquish the darkness, obviously. The seventh and final fight has you fighting against Gallium, with Mario as your teammate. This place represents Smithy's factory, the final place you get a star piece in. Not to mention, Gallium is a giant robot that's pretty fitting for something Smithy would make. The general theme of the boss fits the game's villain in general, so I like it. And that's it. Personally speaking, I could see Geno being announced as the final fighter still. I know that it feels like there are plenty of other fighters that could be announced, and honestly speaking, I am fully expecting to have egg on my face when the Sakurai Presents rolls around. However, I do have some other things to talk about. See, this was actually going to be a 3-part series. I was gonna guess 3 characters that seemed really suspicious to me, and I was pretty much guessing that one of these 3 characters is going to be the final Challenger Pack. However, Sakurai is going to present the character much sooner than I expected, meaning I did not have enough time to make the final video. However, I will go over the likelihoods of these 3 characters and all the other runner-ups I thought about for this series. It'll be a quick run-through basically, no spirits, moveset, or classic mode routes to predict. This is basically just me talking about who I see as likely to be the final challenger. First off, the 3rd character I was going to make for this series was Porky Minch. Porky is another character similar to Phoenix Wright where they're just suspiciously missing from the game entirely. Phoenix I can at least understand being 3rd party and all, but Porky? Why isn't there a spirit of him? Seriously, are we supposed to say that the Absolutely Safe capsule is supposed to represent him? I highly doubt, especially considering he was important enough to make it in as a boss in Brawl. I'm just saying, it's still really suspicious to see him missing is all. Second off, we have the runner-up characters. These characters I deemed likely, but either not as possible currently or just having a problem with certain things. For instance, Waluigi. I think Nintendo and Sakurai know how much Western fans want Waluigi in Smash by now. I'm not saying he has the likelihood of a third-party rep, or even other first-party characters, but he is a popular choice overall. I think Sakurai sees that, especially over the years with Smash 4's release. The only problem is, the Challenger Pack has to come with new spirits and a stage. You could easily come up with a stage for him, but spirits? What the hell could you even do with him? Seems highly unlikely to me now. This includes some other characters like Bandana Waddle Dee, though I'm still unsure of his chances. Next up, we have some other third-party characters that I think are pretty likely. Nahobino / Demi-Fiend are actually pretty close contenders for the spot in my opinion. These 2 characters have a long-standing history with Nintendo, and with Shin Megami Tensei 5 coming out, I can see either or making it in. Crash is another I think is likely, though, to be fair, the recent situation with Activision is kind of a turnoff for companies, I feel. It's possible the character was picked well before the situation happened, but part of me thinks that this is one of those things that reminds me of the Blizzard situation during DLC Pass 1. Activision and Blizzard go hand in hand, so maybe Nintendo didn't want to deal with either company? Not sure of it, really. Some other third-party companies like Sega, I could see getting someone like Kiryu, or a new Sonic character like Tails or Eggman. However, I definitely think Shin Megami Tensei is more likely than Yakuza or Sonic right now. Sora is one that recently got some attention due to some supposed music leak. I don't know the validity of it, though saying the exact date the presents will be on is pretty good. I could still see this as unlikely due to Disney being such a problem with it. Lastly, the first-party characters I thought were close contenders for third are Paper Mario and a Generation 8 Pokemon. These 2 seem pretty likely to me, though I still don't know on a Gen 8 Pokemon. There's circumstances around it makes me think it might not happen. Paper Mario, though, I think has a pretty good shot. Though I notice a sort of bias with Sakurai when it comes to Paper Mario specifically. In terms of spirits, Thousand Year Door got quite a bit of spirit representation. Part of me wonders if maybe he clashes with that supposed IP team about getting Paper Mario in because he wants to do it the way he wants to, but it conflicts with that team somehow, ultimately ending off on a stalemate. It's possible, but I don't know on that one. It's definitely conspiracy theory territory. And that's it, folks. Like I said before, I most likely will have egg on my face for these guesses, but that's what made this fun for me. Working on these videos was extremely fun, and I learned some new tricks to editing now. Well, I guess it's time to get one last ride in on that hype train for Smash. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of plans for this channel in the upcoming years, so stay tuned for more videos. I'll see you guys on October 5th.